Alright. We're back at it. Oh shit, I clicked the wrong window. Okay. Yep. In the last stream, we completed the second case out of 5. In Tyrion Cuthbert, Arcane, the Attorney of the Arcane. And so far, I'm loving the story so far. Could give the writing of Ace Attorney for its money, and such. But nonetheless, yeah. Let's get going and unlock more of this super dank lore that this game has in terms of its magic history and other fantasy elements. Alright. Frey Cuthbert.
I'm sorry, Tyrion. There were so many things I wanted to tell you. So many things that I wanted to show you. But I'm afraid I can't do that now. I need you to be strong now. This world is bleak, merciless, and unforgiving. But I've seen you. I know how bright the light within you is. Use my eyes. Peer beyond the divine gate as I once did. Use it to reclaim the future.
Episode 3, The Origins of Horus.
Preposterous. Completely and utterly preposterous.
Oh, it's Vane. Oh, guy from the Von Sanctus clan. A clan? Family. Is something wrong, Lord Von Sanctus?
You filthy rat! You cheated, didn't you? That's right. You're just a cheat! A cheat and a charlatan!
Lloyd Von Sanctus, nobleman. Do you have any evidence to prove that ridiculous claim?
I mustered chest before you can even crawl out of whatever rat hole you came from. Do you honestly expect anyone to believe that you could defeat me?
Honestly, I'm just as disappointed as you are. I was expecting more of a challenge from House Von Sanctus. But I suppose all the gold in the world can't buy you a modicum of skill.
You little upstart! Ow!
Von Sanctus's acquaintance clears his throat and gestures subtly to the crowd of spectators. Everyone's attention is on him, and you can see the crowd muttering amongst themselves. His undignified behavior probably isn't doing any favors for his public image. Realizing himself, he tries to regain his composure.
It's preposterous.
He walks away, muttering the word preposterous under his breath a few more times. It sounds like he's trying to reassure himself more than anyone else.
So, that was something.
Yeah, I knew he'd get angry, but I didn't expect him to make a scene like that.
Well, you did insult him. Not to say that he didn't deserve it.
Come on, I love seeing those conceited nobles lose their minds when I beat them. It's half the fun playing these tournaments.
Wow, where's this confidence when you were in the courthouse?
That's... court cases are different. I have to deal with real-world elements during a trial, and that includes Prosecutor Steelwind.
Prosecutor Steelwind, huh? I wonder if she plays chess.
Now there's a thought. You wonder if she'd be willing to play against you sometime. You can't be any worse than these pampered nobles. She can't be any worse than these pampered nobles.
Anyways, we should celebrate it somewhere in town. Even if he was a pushover, you just beat one of the top-ranked chess players in the kingdom.
To be honest, you had your reservations about returning to the city of Ordonax. If you weren't facing one of the 4 pillars, you would have never come back here. You would rather leave the city as soon as possible.
I saw a cafe while we were walking around. The food smelled great. I'd really like to go there.
We could always go to one of the cafes in the capital. There are plenty of places to choose from there.
Trust me, I traveled around the world. There's nothing better than food from a thriving port city.
Alright, I suppose there's no harm in staying a little longer. She does have a point. The city streets seem livelier than when you last saw them. You see a lot of businesses that weren't here before, and they all seem to be very well off. Despite being a port city, Ordonax used to look more like a ghost town. Has the local nobility been investigating in the city? You find that possibility very hard to believe. You arrive at the cafe that Celeste told you about. As you enter, you are struck by a powerful aroma of freshly baked pastries and coffee. The scent of the baked goods swirls around you. You take a moment to inhale the enticing smells. You have to admit that it's making you very hungry.
So, you seek to enter the domain of the Deathbringer songstress. Well, glory is what you seek, then look no further. For you stand before Mosorika Tudor, Dark Lord of Odenax.
As you head further into the cafe, you are approached by a familiar face. Masarika Tudor. Rika? Is that you?
Ha! It appears that my reputation precedes me. How good of you to... Wait, you're... Tyrion? You're back!
Hi.
You... Why didn't you tell anyone that you were back in town? Do you have any idea how worried Have we all been? Do you two know each other?
Right. Celeste, this is Masarika Tudor. I was friends with her when I lived here many years ago.
Wait, you used to live here?
Yeah, Oranax is actually the town I grew up in.
What? But you were in such a hurry to leave before. You came here to eat, right? If you're still hungry, I can bring you some of our best dishes on the house.
No, I couldn't possibly.
Come on, don't be like that. It's been years since I've seen you. And you know how good my food is.
Okay, but only for a little while. Rika sets a table for you three and calls over a waiter. You all place your orders.
Now tell me everything. I want to know all about what you've been doing since you left.
First, let us analyze the surroundings. There's some barrels stacked in the corner here.
I wonder what's inside. Wait, Rika, you wouldn't have to have lotus juice, do you? Lotus juice? What's that? Ah, never mind.
What did happen to the lotus juice that you received from Miriam?
I drank all of it.
Already? It hasn't even been a month. This table looks really well made.
Do you like it? I commissioned a local carpenter to have my tables custom made. It was probably worth it. They fit with the humble rustic vibe you got on here.
There's a shelf full of drinks, mugs, and sugar behind the restaurant counter. This must be where Rika's employees prepare coffee to be served. Rika seems to have decorated the entire cafe with several plants and flowers. The greens add a fresh and earthy ambiance to the restaurant.
So, are you going to introduce us?
Right. This is Celeste McCoy. She's my bodyguard.
Bodyguard?
And Celeste, this is...
Ha! As if I need such introductions. I am Mosorika Tudor, Dark Lord of Odenax, High Archmagi of the Cadmium Flames, and the proud proprietor of this cafe. Oh, okay.
I was friends with her when I used to live here. She's a little eccentric, but she's a good person at heart.
Hey!
She's also a common folk mage like you.
Ah, so you come from the same humble beginnings that I do. Which spells have you mastered? I haven't really mastered any of them. I know about 7 spells though. 7? That's almost 4 times the amount I know.
She's learned even more spells. She's been picking them up rather quickly.
I've been usurped. Look at you, Mr. Big Shot. You're wearing a suit now, and you even have a bodyguard. Did you get an office job in the big city?
Something like that. I'm actually a defense attorney now.
A defense attorney? I see. Is that why you left town with that scary lady? Scary lady? Are you talking about Ruby?
Miss Tamora adopted me when my mother passed several years ago. After that, she began training me to become an attorney like her.
Wait, you've been studying to be an attorney since you were a kid?
Well, I guess that explains why you're so young for a lawyer. Said the 19-year-old mercenary! Yeah, I guess you got me there. Are you the owner of this cafe, Rika? You've always spoke about opening one when we were kids. Yep, and it's all thanks to the Dracogen Trading Company. The company's owner invested in my business idea after trying my food. Because of him, I was able to open up here, just like I've always dreamed. Dracogen Trading Company? I don't think I've ever heard of them. They're pretty small right now, and they're only operating in Oranax. But I hear that they're planning to expand their operations throughout Weaponyard. But I would have thought that Lord Von Sanctus would have weeded out any competition. After all, he owns one of the largest businesses in the kingdom. Lord Von Sanctus? Isn't he that pompous noble that I beat in the chess tournament this morning? Wait, that was you? I didn't even know he was a businessman. Von Sanctus Industries invented those arcane constructs that we saw at the Imperial Academy. How do you not know about these things? You practically fight against nobles for a living. Maybe you should start reading more about national politics. Is it just me, or does the city look less depressing than before? Oh right, you left the city before the new merchants appeared. New merchants? Like from the Merchants Guild? Yeah, the Dracogen Trading Company was one of the first ones. They started operating here and bought the Arcane refinery a few years ago. After that, merchants from all over Weaponyard started coming here. Well, being based in a port city would definitely give them an edge. And their presence would really help the city's economy. They aren't owned by the nobility, and they pay their employees a lot more than Von Sanctus does. It's a really improved quality of life for the people here. I doubt Von Sanctus appreciates the competition, though. He's even talking about forming employee-run unions. Oh, Von Sanctus definitely won't appreciate that. So, you still play chess? Yeah, I'm nationally ranked too. I heard about an upstart commoner defeated Lord Von Sanctus at a tournament this morning, but I had no idea that they were talking about you. Upstart commoner? Pfft, that name suits you, Tyrion. Hey, do you still do that thing when you play? No. What thing? Nothing. She's not talking about anything. Wait, you're actually embarrassed about it? When we were kids, you did it even more than I did. What? What did you used to do? Why don't you show her, Tyrion? I'd rather not. Come on, show us, Tyrion. I think I'm a little too old for this. You're never too old to tap into your inner Chuni. Do it, Tyrion. Yeah, do it. The two of them begin chanting, trying to pressure you. It draws the attention of the other patrons in the cafe. They don't seem to care about the confused looks that they're getting. It seems that you don't have a choice. You take in a deep breath. Those who stand in the shadows, those who fear the light of divinity, your Imperials will fall, and your armies will perish. Kneel and cower before the divine gaze of the Eye of Horus. They're trying to hard this to contain their laughter. Well, that's why I don't do it anymore. No, that was great. It was really cool, Tyrion. The poorly contained laughs are coming out between each word. And why are you laughing? You were just doing it a moment ago. Yeah, but she owns it. Ugh. You used to say something else before, too. I won't let anyone stand in my way, even if they're a man, king, or god? Yeah, that's it. He still says that sometimes. Oh, looks like our order is here. A waiter brings in the lunch special for each of you. The enticing aroma of the meals makes you salivate a little. You gladly devour the meal. Riko's cooking is just as delicious as you remembered. You spend some more time catching up with her while you finish your meal. As your conversation continues, you and Celeste regale her with stories of your past court cases. No, really?
Yep, turns out it was the headmaster the entire time. Wow, I would have never figured that out. How did you know, Tyrion? Maybe he saw it with his eye of Horus.
You nearly choke on your drink before you realize what she's actually referring to.
But, wow, I can't believe it. I never thought court cases would be that dramatic.
You finish your meal as you continue to tell Rika more about your cases. It's nice being able to talk with her again. You tried so hard to leave everything behind after what happened, but you're happy that she seems to be doing well. Well, it's been nice catching up with you, Rika, but I think it's time for us to get going.
What? But we just got here. It's okay. I'm sure you're pretty busy nowadays. I won't keep you any longer. But be sure to write, okay? Don't just go and disappear like last time.
Yeah, I'll stay in touch.
You better.
You exit the cafe and make your way to the local merchants guild to rent a carriage. The city streets seem a bit more crowded than usual. It's a little difficult to make your way through them.
Hey, Tyrion?
Yeah? Celeste is fidgeting with her hands. She looks like she wants to say something, but every time she starts to speak, she quickly stops herself. This happens a few more times before she seems to give up.
Never mind. It's nothing.
Okay. You both continue to walk silently as you make your way to the Merchants Guild. As you make your way there, the streets become more and more crowded. You hope the traffic won't interfere with the ride home.
Hi, could we rent a carriage for travel to Rethel?
Sorry, but travel outside of the city is temporarily closed.
What? Why?
Haven't you heard? The Knights of Kingsguard have locked down the city. They have set up a blockade and everything. Check the city gates if you don't believe me.
There's been a murder.
As you arrive at the city gates, you see the blockade that the merchant was talking about. A crowd of disgruntled townfolk are angrily shouting at the guards at the knights stationed there.
This is outrageous.
How long do you plan on keeping us here?
Sorry, but we have our orders. We can't let anyone outside the city until our investigation's complete. There's an investigation. Did something happen?
Can you at least tell us what's going on? Why is the entire city being blockaded? Sorry, sir. We're not allowed to release that information. You just have to make other arrangements while we sort this out. Actually, I haven't seen you two around before. I'll need to take down your names and occupations for our records.
What? Why?
It's fine, Celeste. We're better off just cooperating with them.
An invasion of privacy, but you'd rather not resist orders from the King's Guard.
I'm Tyrion Cuthbert. I'm a defense attorney.
Fine. I'm Celeste McCoy, bodyguard.
Thanks. Look over to the other King's Guard. They seem to be taking notes of the people here too. They must be making a list of everyone inside the city. But for what reason?
I have an important engagement tomorrow. What am I supposed to do now?
This can't possibly be legal.
The townsfolk continue shouting at the knights, but it's clear they won't be budging anytime soon.
What do we do now?
You notice that it's starting to get late.
We don't know how long the city will be blockaded. We should find a place to stay overnight, just in case.
You walk into a nearby tavern and see it absolutely crowded with patrons.
Looks like everyone had the same idea.
Hey, welcome to the Agwin Tavern. What can I do for you?
Could we get 2 rooms for the night?
Sorry, I can't even spare 1 room. We're completely full with the blockade and all.
Wait, let me take care of this.
Celeste takes out a large pouch of gold and plops it on the innkeeper's desk. Well, would you look at that? One of our rooms just opened up.
Only one?
Hey, the entire city's locked down. Even with your gold, that's the best I can do for you.
What? Embarrassed to share a room with me, Tyrion?
No, it's just... You realize that she's just teasing you like she usually does. Best not to give it any mind.
Well, it's better than nothing. So, how should we...
Oh, I was just kidding before. You can have the bed. I'll just sleep on the floor.
What?
I can't just let you... Please, we may be both commoners, but you live a cushy life in the city. I'm a mercenary. I've lived on the road for years. I sleep like this all the time.
She's got you there.
Alright, but tell me if you change your mind. Yeah.
Hey! Oh, hey! I didn't see you there. I was just
Just walked past him.
What? Hey, watch it! Quit jumping me! Wait, what? Holy crap! Pull me up! I can't hold on for much longer!
You idiot. What are you doing?
What?
Grab his arm and pull him up.
Ah! My hand! What the hell are you doing?
Your grip is too tight. Stop that.
Ah!
Wait. I can still... No. What happened? I should have been able to... By the Scale Lord. He fell in. No. I can use this. That's right, I can still make this look like it was all his fault. Oh, we don't actually know who the culprit is. Well, actually, no, that's just pretty much the same case from Chapter 2.
You find yourself falling into a nightmare.
Tyrion, I'm so sorry. I can't believe they made you watch. Are you okay? Right, of course not.
Are you going to keep fighting them?
Your voice is quiet. Your question barely comes out as a whisper.
What?
Are you going to keep fighting the nobility?
I don't know if I can anymore. Today, they showed me what they're truly capable of. I was naive. I thought the truth would prevail, but I'm only one person. I can't do this alone anymore.
So you're just going to give up? You're the only one who will fight against them. If you're just going to give up, then was my mother's death truly pointless?
I'm sorry.
Teach me how to be like you.
What?
You said that you can't do this alone anymore, right? So, teach me how to become how to be a defense attorney. I can help you. We can fight them together.
Tyrion, you're just a child. I can't just... Mr. Moore, please. I don't have anything left. Please just take me away from here.
You clutch your hand tightly, feeling the fading warmth of the final message that your mother left for you. It's the last comforting memory you'll have of her. It's a memory that you'll never experience again.
Mom.
You're startled awake. After some confusion, you realize that it was all a dream. You don't even have trouble falling asleep, but your slumber was less than restful. It's been a while since you remembered that day. That's all the more reason to leave this city as soon as possible.
Celeste, are you up?
Huh?
Oh, this is a new... Oh, this is a new... No, that's a new pose.
Celeste was wistfully staring out the window, watching the rain. Her head whips towards you when she realizes that you're awake.
Are you okay? What's wrong?
Nothing. He wasn't awake, was he?
Oh, that's new.
She doesn't seem keen on sharing. It'd be best not to pry.
Anyways, do you know that the city's still under lockdown?
I haven't checked yet. I was waiting for you to wake up.
You go outside and check the city gates. The blockade still hasn't disappeared. In fact, it looks like it's been fortified with even more knights.
Looks like we can't leave yet.
They've even doubled down on the guards. What's going on here?
Tyrion!
You spot Rika in the distance as she calls out to you. As soon as she sees you, she breaks out into a full sprint towards you. She looks exhausted. Has she been looking for you in the rain?
Tyrion, it's terrible! There was an accident at the Arcane refinery last night. One of my friends who worked there, he fell into a vat of chemicals. He's dead.
Oh, Rika. I'm so sorry. If there's anything I can do...
Lord Von Sanctus is blaming the Dracogen Trading Company. He's trying to charge the owner with criminal negligence.
As the lord of this region, Von Sanctus would have a lot of leverage in a legal battle like this. He must have been using this accident as an opportunity to oust Dracogen from his territory.
Tyrion, you're a lawyer, aren't you? Can you help them?
I don't think I can.
What? But...
Rika, I specialize in homicide cases, and most of my clients are mages who've been charged with murder. I never even tried a case like this before. There isn't any magic involved, and there's no killer. Don't worry, I'm sure that the Dracogen Trading Company knows plenty of qualified attorneys who can help.
I'm not so sure about that. Think about it. A lord from one of the four-pillared families is pressing those charges. Do you honestly think anyone will try to fight them on this?
She has a point. There aren't many attorneys who will go against the nobility under any circumstances. The only ones who will do that are you and Miss Tamora.
Alright, I'll see what I can do.
Really?
But please don't get your hopes up. I have very little information to work with right now. And to be perfectly honest, I'm really out of my element.
That's okay. I'm sure that Mr. Dracogen will take any help he can get.
Mr. Dracogen?
He's the owner of the Dracogen Trading Company. He should be at the old Arcane refinery right now.
That must be the scene of the accident too. It'll probably be best to start your investigation there.
I've been away from the shop for too long, so I can't come with you. But drop by at the cafe if there's anything I can do to help.
You follow Rika's directions and move through the city's industrial district. It reminds you of your childhood, back when you couldn't control the Eye of Horus. You always avoided this part of the city. It was always covered with an overwhelming fog of misery and fatigue. However, you feel less of that now. Is it because you have more control over your powers, or has something else changed?
Oh wow, this looks more like a modern refinery than anything, actually. Yeah, it looks a bit too modern, but eh.
Alright, we're here.
You arrive at the refinery and see that there aren't many people around. The few people you do see appear to be from the City Watch. Operations must have been halted after the accident.
Wow, so this is an Arcane refinery.
I always saw this place as a child, but I never really understood what they do here.
Those machines refine arcane crystals that are used in artificery. Those crystals are used as power sources for conducting magical energy.
You look around to spot an especially frustrated individual. He seems to stand out from the knights and cleaning staff. Could he be the guild master Rika spoke of? He takes notice of you and as you head further into the refinery.
What voice do I give him? I just give him a deep voice.
Hello there. You must be the attorney that Miss Tudor spoke about.
I am. I take it that you're the guildmaster of the Dracogen Trading Company.
Yes. My name is Stefanik Dracogen. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. I really appreciate you lending me your aid in this matter.
I already told Rika this, but I've never tried a civil case before. I would need to learn more about what happened before I can decide whether or not I can represent you. I'm honestly not sure how much help I can be.
Well, there isn't a single attorney in Oranax that will represent me, so I'll accept whatever help I can get. Celeste was right. All of the attorneys are too afraid to stand against Lord Von Sanctus.
Where should we start, though? This case is probably different from the homicide stuff we're used to.
Homicide or not, the case revolves around a wrongful death. If I did represent Dracogen, I would need to prove that he wasn't at fault for the accident. To do that, we should start by finding out exactly how and why the accident occurred. We should also question the witnesses who saw the victim when it happened. And it wouldn't hurt to take a look at the scene of the accident either.
The Guildmaster would have a lot of knowledge about the refinery's operations. Questioning him might also give you insight into what happened.
It's a vat filled with chemicals that I can't quite identify. According to Celeste, these chemicals are used to refine and create arcane crystals. Oh. These metal stairs lead up to the walkway above. It's a power box. It contains artificial hardware and an arcane power cell. It's connected to the chemical vat, so it must control some function of the refinery.
Repario Arcanum!
There are traces of transmutation magic on this power box.
It is an artificial device, so it's not too out of the ordinary.
There are traces of transmutation magic on these parts of the vat.
I'm honestly not quite sure how these vats even work. Perhaps transmutation magic is used in the refinement process somehow. To start, could you tell us exactly what happened?
Well, it all began during the work rush yesterday evening. One of my employees fell from the walkway and into a vat of magical chemicals. Those chemicals contained extremely volatile and destructive evocation magic. Because of that, he unfortunately died before we could have pulled him out.
I see. But that all just sounds like an unfortunate accident. Why is Lord Von Sanctus blaming you for what happened?
There are guardrails on the walkways to prevent people from falling. Supposedly, those guardrails broke apart when the employee tried to lean against it. According to Von Sanctus, the accident was a direct result of my negligence to maintain the refinery. But my employees have taken great care to inspect and maintain the facilities. I have no idea how this happened. Is he telling the truth? This could be just lip service. All just be lip service. The only way to know for sure is to inspect the walkway yourself.
Earlier, you said that the victim was an employee of yours. Would you tell us more about them?
Yes, I hired him just a few months ago. It's a shame what happened to him. He was a young man named Justin Way.
Was he a good employee?
He was a hard worker, but he was a bit rough around the edges when he first started. Before working for me, I heard that he always spent his time with the local delinquents. Miss Tudor practically begged me to hire him. She told me that she wanted to turn his life around. That does sound something like Rika would do. She always has the habit of getting involved in her friend's personal business. When you live a life like Justin's, it helps when you have something to give you some structure and direction. So I decided to give the boy a chance by hiring him. He was clearly a hard worker. He did well to earn his keep. He always followed the rules too, so I have no idea why he was up in that walkway. Wait, he wasn't supposed to be on that walkway?
Earlier you mentioned that Justin wasn't supposed to be on the walkway. What do you mean by that?
Well, Justin worked in an entirely different department. He was part of a team that managed packing and freight. He had no business being inside the refinery building, much less the upper walkway. That is strange to say the least.
Was he the type of person to wander around places that he's not supposed to?
No. Like I said before, he always followed my rules. It all just makes the situation that much more confusing.
Was there anyone around when the accident occurred? Did anyone see Justin fall?
There were many employees here at the time, but there were only a handful of witnesses who actually saw Justin fall from the walkway.
Who were these witnesses?
If I remember correctly, Miss Tudor was the one who saw him fall.
Wait, Rika was here when it happened?
Yes, she witnessed the accident alongside the harbor master.
Morrison.
Oh, you're acquainted with him?
I am.
Morrison was close friends with your mother when you were a child, but after you left Ordonax, you went out of your way to cut contact with everyone from your past.
But what were all these people doing here in the first place? Rika's a cafe owner, and Morrison is a harbor master.
I'm a little concerned about that myself. I'm still unsure about Miss Tudor, but the harbor master was accompanied by a nobleman of some sort.
A nobleman?
I'm not privy to the specifics, but apparently that nobleman had the legal authority to go wherever he wanted to. You'll want to ask Morrison more about that, but it will all be awkward to speak with him after all these years.
Okay, let's go to the walkway.
Tyrion, do you need me to scan for magical traces?
Well, there aren't magical elements in this case, but I suppose it wouldn't hurt to check.
Alright.
Looks like the guardrails completely broke apart. The rails are completely rusted too. Was Jacobin
lying about the properly maintaining the site? It's a vat of dangerous magical chemicals. Supposedly, they're corrosive enough to dissolve anyone unfortunate enough to fall into it.
Celeste is watching you carefully. She can be a little overprotective at times.
Repario Arcanum!
What?
What's wrong?
There are traces of transmutation all over the guardrails.
Transmutation? Do you see those traces anywhere else in the walkway?
No, it's only this area.
Oh shit.
Transmutation is the school of magic that changes the properties of physical objects. Usually mages use the transmutation spells to strengthen and repair objects.
Okay. Someone used a spell to change the physical properties of the guardrails. Judging by the current state of the rails, we can only conclude one thing. Guardrails. Oh. There we go. Right. Someone used a transmutation spell to weaken the guardrails. Afterwards, the guardrails were so weak that Justin accidentally broke them.
And only these guardrails were weakened. The sabotage rails are right next to the vat of corrosive chemicals too.
What was the intention? There was a clear intention behind the actions of this unknown mage. Judging by what happened, that intention can only be one thing. Wanted. Whoever sabotaged the guardrail wanted someone to fall into the vat. Why else would they want to target those specific guardrails?
But why? Who would do this?
You can feel your fist clenching tightly. Someone committed murder using a magic here, and whoever did this had the gall to try to cover it up.
Tyrion?
You won't forgive whoever did this. When you're through with them, you will make them feel a fraction of the misery that your mother...
Tyrion!
What?
Are you okay?
Right. Sorry. Anyways, if it weren't for your detect magic, everyone would have written this off as an accident. Magical traces are only detectable for 48 hours after a mage casts a spell. That means whoever cast the transmutation spell did it so recently.
Right.
Yep.
Repario Arcanum!
There are traces of evocation magic on the chemicals in the vats.
That makes sense. Evocation is a school of magical spells that create and disperse energy. These chemicals probably induce some sort of magical reaction to create arcane crystals.
You arrive at the harbor in search of Morrison, the harbor master. However, you notice a large concentration of knights in the shipping area. Notably, the Arcane Inquisition is among them. You spot Commander White and Prosecutor Steelwind coordinating the knights there.
I wonder what those two are doing here.
The knights of the blockade said they were investigating something. There must be magic involved if the Inquisition is here.
Do you think this has anything to do with what happened to Justin?
I doubt it. We didn't see any Inquisition knights at the refinery. It must be a coincidence. It must just be a coincidence.
You're probably right. But I'm kind of curious about what the Inquisition is investigating.
It has nothing to do with our case. It'd be best to leave them to their business.
Alright.
Oi!
Oi, you there! You best clear out. The knights have closed the harbor.
Morrison?
Huh? Do I know you? Wait, Cuthbert? Is that you?
Hi.
I heard from little Mosarica that you were back in town. What can I do for you?
We heard that you were at the refinery yesterday. From what we've heard, you witnessed the accident. We wanted to ask you some questions about what you saw.